Today we're going to talk about saving your files, opening files, and most importantly, project archives. Alright, so we're going to talk about how to open a file, create a file, save a file. The first one we're going to do is how to create a new file. Now there's two ways to create a new project file. Both of them, you come with the file. The one that everyone uses is new project. This is creating a project from scratch. The other option is the new project from network scan. This creates a project from your entire network. So what it does is if you click on this, it goes out and scans for all the devices you have on the system and creates a project that has all those devices in it. Today we're going to do it this way. When you come in here, you're going to see that on the left side there's this category tree. Your tree might look a little different than mine depending on the version and what stuff you have installed. Most of the time you'll come down to drive, select your drive, be it an M700 or a 702, or you might go up to application modules because maybe you have an MCI 200 or 210. You will notice that there are two versions of MCI 200 here, and there's two versions of MCI 210. The reason for these pre-106 versions is before version 106 on the firmware, there was some limitations in the module, and after version 1.6, which is what everyone's using today, a lot of advancements were made. But because of that, we have to have a project that is designed for the older firmware and a projects that are designed for the newer firmware. So today I'm going to open a project with the MCI 210. Now normally what you'll do is you'll select a location. You can browse for it by clicking here, or you can just type it in. You also need to give it a name. So I'm going to call it test code. You hit OK. Now what you're going to see is this little MCI wizard. What it's asking you here is, what is your language you want to use as your starting point? You can technically change this at any time in the project, and you can even mix and match, but it wants to know what to start the project as. So most of the time I started as structured text. A lot of others like ladder logic, so I'm going to select ladder logic for today. It also wants to know what kind of tasks you want. Freewheeling, clock task, position tasks. These all have different priorities, and we'll discuss these later in a different video, but just know that you can have more than one piece of code running at the same time. And then also it wants to know what slot your module is going to be fitted in. Most of the time it's slot 3. Okay? And if you want, you can also change the target at the last moment. Alright, so now we have a project. We don't have any code in it. Really, there's this freewheeling task that has nothing in it. I'm going to write a simple piece of ladder just to do so. But we're not really trying to accomplish anything here. It's just to, create something. Alright, so we wrote a piece of code here. You will notice that there's a library manager. The library manager has all the libraries that are associated with this project. You can add more or remove some. We'll talk about that later in another video. But for now, just know that there's libraries associated with this project that you have. And when you go to save this file, this is important to know, because if you just hit save project file, and this is what you will do for yourself because your computer already has the libraries, it does not contain all the libraries in the project. So if I was to go and open that project, and to do that you'd go to open project, so you navigate to it and you can open it. But if you open this project, which we're going to do, it will open fine on your computer, but it won't open fine on other people's computers because they may not have the libraries you have. To do this, you need to go to File, Project Archive, Save, and Send. Okay? What this does is it creates a project that has all of your libraries in it. See, here's all your libraries. It also has all your references, and most of the time you can remove this because most of the time you're not using the soft motion library. You can just get rid of that. But these are the kind of stuff that it's going to have in your project. You can click and remove things if you want. Most of the time you just leave it exactly the way it was and then you just hit save. You'll notice that the extension is type Project Archive. What this is it's basically a zip file. So we're going to save it here in this directory here. Hit save. Okay, so it now made this Project Archive for me. I am going to go to that same directory where this was located at. And here are my two projects. You can see one's called Test Code. That's the one we currently have open. This one's called Test Code Project Archive. This is that zip file. And you'll notice it does have the icon of the Machine Control Studio. So what this is telling us is we can just double click on this and it's going to open a new Machine Control Studio. And what we're going to see is it's going to ask us a series of questions like where do we want to unzip the file or extract the file. Alright. Here's the window that has come up. Right here you see there are two options for extracting. One is in the same folder where we open the project from. The other one is to give it a path. Okay? I'm going to give it a path into my junk folder. And you can see in here, this is all the stuff that was saved in the project. It's going to install that into my computer. So now when I come and open this up, if I was your customer, I would have all the same libraries and would be able to run this program without any problems. The only thing I might suggest you do is go up to Build, do a Clean All, and then Build. And as you can see, we have no errors, no warnings, so that was a good build. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any topics you want me to cover, tell me about it in the comment section below.